We are sitting with the family, actually, of Katlego, whose body was used as a decoy in aiding Thabo to escape from prison. The family has just been paid a visit by members of the Methodist Church who came to give them a word of comfort, so you can only understand how grief-stricken they are at the moment. Hopefully we'll be able to speak to them and they explain to us what exactly happened and when did they discover that their son was missing. We know so far that they did go to the police to report that Katlego was missing. When I spoke to the aunt earlier this morning, she indicated that it was around his birthday in May last year when they started panicking and saying he's not coming back home. It had been 2 months at the time, but Me Monica is here with us, who is the mother, Me Monica Matsie. Mama, ke kopa ore blele ganyane gore last year ha letla lemoga gore Katlego nkare ha sa tlhola a boela gae ene le hane go iragetseng.
Ene le ka March last year besa tlhole re mmona tla motlong, so ke tlile ke ne ke tlo visita mo gae, so ke nne ba ka re since Katlego go se nantsa dula le mamaka ba re since Katlego a tsamaile ne le early March. So since ntse re batlana le ene o nantsa dula mo gae go sena madula, o na dula le mamaka a gona mana ya teng na dula mo gae, so ke mo batlile ga tsamaye go fitile kgwedi ya May, March, April. May ke ga tsamaya ke ya go police station Kopanong ke tla ke ba botsisa for ngwana o latlhegile, then ka bula case ya missing. Ha ke bula case ya missing, it was the 17 tsa May, be ke boela gape ka di 18 tsa May ba sa fetsa o nthusa ka di 18 tsa May ke ya ka photo tsa gagwe, be ke bula case. Then after case ka bo June ke ga re ya go government mo sha re bona this thing ya Katlego is serious, Katlego a tlhagelela re mo grey.
As she's explaining, Naledi, that they started realizing in May that Katlego was missing. She then went to the police station, the local police station here, to report him missing, because it had already been 2 months at the time that he was not coming home. And then around May, they went to government mortuary to go and look for his body, but at the time they didn't find anything. And then it was only later on that the news came out. I want to speak to her again further, just to understand what unfolded beyond that time when they went to the government mortuary, until we got to this point now where they know that their son was actually involved in this matter that of aiding Thabo to escape from prison. Mama, motlhomong re bolelle gore ha le fetsa go tswa ko government mortuary le setse le bone le ikgotsofaditse le lona gore ha ayo Katlego mo go iragetseng le ntse le tshela yang le ntse le mo batla kae gape?
Before ke ile le go dispetlele pele nominationale re sa mo kry, so since ntse re mo batla ene le mo TV ntse re sheba di news re ipotsa batho ba bolailwe, ke ipotsa gore motho ke butseng case mo yena ha a tle mo nna a tlo mplelela for rena o diragalang case e ntse tsa mabya, so ha se bi atle next day o tlile ka holiday ya this year, holiday ne le ka March, I think ne le Tuesday, holiday a tla tlo mpotsana a se ke kry Katlego. So lentse ke sheba le ko TV, then taba ya best ke be ke ipotsa ke re body eo a se ngwana ka go sentse ke batla ngwana ke di body ntse tse 3 e ka be ngwana ke hayo mo because a ku clinics o tswa le police le ke bitse case molo.
She's explaining that whenever there was a case that appears on television of a murder, the family would wonder if this is Katlego. Whenever there's any news coming up, they would just question whether the body is Katlego. They also wondered when the Thabo story broke, whether the 3 bodies that were said to have been involved or taken from the government mortuary did not include the son, Katlego. She's also explaining that the police officer who was investigating this matter, the missing person matter, had not come to the family to update the family about what was happening. He only came to them in March this year on the public holiday, human rights, that to ask them whether they had found their son. But I also want to find out from her again what then happened when the police officer asked whether you had found your son, Mama. Ha le ponisa le tla motlu le tla go le botsa gore le bone Katlego ene le hane go iragetseng kana kwe o nana le information e nngwe o na tlile fela go tla go le botsa.
First go tlile le ponisa le ne ke butse case ko lona ka March le ka holiday, then beke ele itileng last week Friday wa tla le ponisa ba tshwentse di DNA test ka ba botsa di DNA test tse tselentse tsona hona le something na e leng for le suspect na le kreile body ya ngwanake a ba re kreile fela ditopo, so ditopo ntse re checka ditopo, so a se stopo se one sense re check ntse re bona le batho le bona ba lana ka ditopo tsa bona, so ntse re ba dira di DNA test. So that's why le wena re tlo ira di DNA test because of le wena o butse case against ngwana gago la tlile. So last week happy Friday se sengwe se fitile ke ga le ponesa le lata ko mmerekong di tlhale re monna ke tlele lona mo Yesu, then be ke re a ke tle ke chaise ke tla o emela ko toropong be ba tla maponesa go nna toropong re ya ko office ya bona ba itla ba re go tlo kwadisa maina gago a feleletse ke be ke ba butsisa di question why le abari ke le ponesa le leng o rile ke colonel ha isa le ole ke butsing case ke bona ba tshwereng case yaka. Then Saturday, it was Friday, Saturday be ba ya konna ba itla ba ntse ba tlo ntira di DNA test. Di DNA test tseo tsa faila. Last week Tuesday ke ga o tla wa Pretoria wa di forensic a tlo ntira di DNA test tse dingwe ke ga a di boa o ntirile tsona Tuesday. This Friday ke ga atla le ponisa lo anlatela gape ko mmerekong a itla a re monna ke tlo lata re ko hen ke bere a ke gone go tsamaya le lena papa ko sa le mpolelele bothata ke eng ka ngwana ke le mokrile gore a ba re tla ko nkgo le batla ko mamaka. So nna ke tlile after then ke khone ke tla utlwa gore di DNA test tseo di a tshwana le ngwana ke, but up to so far a ka kreya pampire ya pampire mpontshang for di DNA test tseo di result di reng a ka di bona, so ba re ke gone ke tla di bona Monday.
Ba lebleletse leng sentle gore mmele o ba buang ka one kwa ga Katlego ne letsatsi le feng
ba bleletse mama ka Friday.
Okay. She's explaining there that initially when the police came to her regarding the DNA testing, they didn't disclose to her that they were actually testing her DNA against that of someone that they suspected was her son. They only told her that because she had reported a missing person to the police that they wanted to test the DNA because other people had also reported their people missing. And on the basis of that, she then gave them a sample, a DNA sample. This DNA sample came back and it was not a match. But later on, a police officer from Pretoria arrived and took a DNA sample again from her. And last week, Friday, they were then informed that the body that was found in Thabo Besta's cell 35 at the Mangaung Correctional Center was that of their son. I want to take the conversation to the aunt, who is the younger sister to the mother, for her to just talk to us about how the family is reacting to the news that their son was actually used and how they feel that he got involved in this matter. Auswaka ke kopa ganyane fela o re tseye le mo batlile Katlego for almost the whole of 2022. ha le tla go utlwa dikgang tse le ne le ikutlwa yang?
Nna ke ile ila ba pain ho nna mobane Katlego ne ntse ke nahana hore ne ke sena believe eo ya go Katlego o shwele. Ne ke dula ke kgothatsa mme wa hae le nkgono wa ka le mme wa ka hore Katlego ma leng teng o hantle o tla hlaha. Ne ke sa lebella le hore Katlego ho tla thwe ke yena a fungwaneng nthong prison. Ne ke sa idumele ho ha, ne ke sa idumele because ne ntse ke na le hope ya hore o tla hlaha ka le la matsatsi.
The aunt there explaining that she had hope. She believed that he would come back. The family did explain earlier that he would once in a while go see his friends, go visit his friends, but he would always return. He would always return home. And even in this instance, they had hoped that he will come back. But as the mother has already said that she was worried, and every time she saw a murder case being reported on the news around Bloemfontein, she would worry about whether that person is her son or not. Mama, ke tlo bua le wena gape ke utlwa gore wena maikutlo a gago ka se tlhagileng ha o tla go utlwa dikgang tsa gore ngwana gago kene a dirisitsweng mmele wa gagwe go no dirisitsweng mo go thuseng Thabo Bester gore a sie go tronkong maikutlo a gago keng?
I ka sia mathuta ke botlhoko tatele ke botlhoko.
Grief-stricken, a mother who cannot understand or accept what happened to her son. As you know, we've been reporting on this matter about a body that was discovered charred, burnt in cell 35 at the Mangaung Correctional Service, a body that was used as a decoy to aid Thabo Bester to escape. For the whole year of 2022, the family looking for their son, going to the government mortuary, going to the hospitals around here, just looking for their son, not knowing that even at the government mortuary where they went, their son was there, but they couldn't identify him. Inconsolable. When we spoke to the grandmother earlier, she said when she heard about the 3 bodies, she knew immediately that it was her grandson. I would like to bring her into the conversation for her to talk to us about how she knew that. How could she tell when the whole family was still hopeful, when the whole family was questioning? How did she know that it was her grandson who was found in that cell? Nkgono, ke bua le wena earlier, and then o bo re bolella gore wena o no itse immediately gore ngwana mmele o kreilweng ko G4S ko tronkong ke mmele wa your grandson. Wena o ka re bolella gore o itsile yang immediately gore ke ene?
Ke motho a dulang mo hae mo ke dula ke shebeletse TV since from ntho ya Bester e hlale le Nandipha ya be ke ba velte haholo jwale ka tabena ya mona wa moradi yaka mara itse jola se ke bona o hlahisa ditopo tsena sena se ntse se phapalla bomanetse se repi ka re topo se sempela etsa bore ke se sentse ditopo tsa ngwana tsa mmele wa ngwanaka. Waya ka bona sane jwale ke Nandipha ka mona ke Bester ka mona dila ka bekile na phatse dila ka bele nna ntse dituka ka seleng ka re nne ke ya sala maikutlo a ka nne hore mona molongo ke ngwana ka yona ntse a tshamo ka sale nna ke na le tsela e hore ngwana ni wa ngwana ka ke mong ditupontse.
The grandmother there explaining that she stays home and she's always watching the news. So when the news broke and she saw how the story unfolded, she immediately knew that there wasn't a way that her grandson would be missing for an entire year, not calling home, not informing anyone about his whereabouts. She knew that that body that was in that prison cell was her son's body. In the conversation I had with the family earlier, they did tell me that Katlego had 2 kids, a 2-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter. And now it is the responsibility of the family to take care of those 2 children. But what remains a question perhaps to the entire country is, how did this body end up there? And when that body got there, was it a sacrifice that was done to ensure that Thabo Bester escapes from prison? There are many questions that need to be answered. But today, the family is